Just Buggin.
Hey guys, I'm back on the trike. As you can see, we laid the body down on it. I think this is actually the first time we put it on here since it's been painted. And hooking up all the harnesses, electrical harnesses underneath there, and I'm about to stick the pedals on and what do you call those? Where you put your heels on?
Foot pegs.
Yeah, there we go, foot pegs. Wake up, Greg. And gonna get everything hooked up enough to where we can test drive it, make sure everything's working properly, and figure out what things we might have to correct, and then possibly have to take the body back up and deal with those issues. And I've got a few other things I want to do, and we will test drive this and go on from there and try to get this thing done and over with. Had a lot of obstacles in the way to get, and still couldn't find a tachometer that's 3 inches in diameter. Everything's bigger than that. So this is the original tack that was on it beforehand, so it doesn't look bad with the black in the middle, but it would be nicer if it was white. But we got to keep moving on. It's just been held up for multiple reasons, so let's cross our fingers and hope that this is the day it gets to move on its own. Yeah, I see that.
Clutch a couple times.
What? It feels like nothing.
Can't hardly reach it.
Do you see it moving at all?
It's moving.
Yeah, it is moving.
It's moving quite a bit.
We can't adjust it on this anymore, can we? No.
It's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving probably 3/4 of an inch.
Seemed enough when it wasn't running. See, it goes right in.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's I mean, we're bottoming out.
You're bottoming out on the lever. All the way here. That lever won't go any further. I'm afraid when I get in it, it's just gonna take off. It's in neutral now.
How about you start it in first? And
Because
clutch
there's nothing to release the clutch. It's a watch. It's gonna jump, move.
Oh.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Why?
Ain't you ever drove one without a clutch?
No.
Starting the beetle.
He said no.
Watch out. Be easy.
Think I'm gonna hit my bottom?
No. It does look badass. Look at this. It looks badass. Were you scared? I bet the turning was scary.
Oh yeah. It's weird putting the handlebar away.
Way out there. Look at that. It does look badass.
I gotta see that on something big. Hey guys, as you can see, we've got the body back off of the trike. About to yank the motor off of it to see why the clutch won't disengage. Other than that, it was nice for its maiden voyage in a circle around the yard a couple of times, but we need to see what the issue is here. Whether it's a wrong throwout bearing or clutch or something, don't know. But I expected you know, some adjustments, some tweaking this, tweaking that, but I didn't expect this. But hey, it's not like it's a full-size car and we gotta pull the motor. So it is what it is. Well, we figured out the culprit, and apparently I must be the one to blame. Because Rick, sure, it wasn't here when this went on. Wrong throw-out bearing. This is the one that's supposed to be in the tranny with a cone on it, which is like an IRS, wouldn't be? They didn't even put the cone in that. So I don't know how I ended up doing this. I'm sure it was me.
That's something we've all done at least once.
Yeah, well, there's my once. Oops. But just to show you, not that I know everything about Volkswagen, so even I can make a mistake, but there's no harm done. I mean, just an hour of our time to go back here again.
All part of the learning curve.
Yep. Alrighty, well, we're gonna get this button back up, the correct throw-out bearing in it, and go from there. We got to deal with the accelerator kind of sticking a little bit. Apparently, the owner bought some sort of like a bicycle freaking accelerator. I don't know. Looks like one, but maybe just a stiffer spring back here. And he still has to figure out what he's going to use for turn signal switch. And Dalton made a good suggestion yesterday. It would be a good idea to wire a kill switch up there on the right hand handlebar, to where if something happens, your right hand's always going to be up there for the accelerator. So why not put it right there? So probably something we're going to do, possibly. That should be.
Might want to change that angle and put it on one of them bottom.
I already moved it up one hole.
That sucks.
But
Well, it happens.
it's, you know,
I mean, it's been
I always-
probably since the 80s since this thing's been driven.
I always say that it sucks too, but really, if you started right now, in a few minutes you'd have to roll around.
Oh yeah. Well, it's,
That's-
just,
you
it's
gotta-
only the pedals and everything takes forever.
You gotta take the body
I
off.
only have like,
Oh, you have to take a body off?
Yeah.
you gotta take all
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah.
The handlebars off.
No,
so you
no,
don't hit them.
no, yeah, no.
I told him he should just be able to lift it
I
up.
did this morning.
No, you
I
need
just
to-
put it back.
You know what you need to do? You need to talk this guy into making this a hatch.
Yeah,
Where this flips up,
Yeah.
and then it'll slide out the back.
that would be cool.
Because
You can't even
now I get why you guys are saying that, because
You
now
can't.
it's a bigger job than doing it in a bus.
You can't do anything to it.
Like if you got to take all this stuff off.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you don't deal with the wiring.
I know, that's good, because I'll tell you that the rest of this stuff would be enough to bother with.
Yeah.
I get it. I
You
get
can't
it.
even get to the battery on this some bitch's body on it.
Right in there.
Oh, no.
Right in there.
We need to have.
And right now filling it with gas too. You can't get to
Well,
it
the
until he
gas-
gets the custom tank.
Basically, it'll have a
gas
custom
fill-
tank up in here.
No, I haven't done it. Right here is where he wants the fill neck right here.
Well, where is the
see where
tank gonna be?
See, it used to be right there, and the tanks are going to be in this square.
See, that's why I don't like custom stuff unless I design it myself, because when I build something, I try to make it so it's easy to work on, but a lot of people don't care about that. They just build it.
Oh no, but this thing is sleek as hell looking.
Oh, no, it's beautiful.
But you gotta deal with all that crap.
I'm just saying, I would have,
I'm with you,
you
Frank.
need some kind of quick disconnect or something on the top of the pedal so all that can slide off without taking that stuff off. There's just friggin' work. I get it now. Okay. Well, I was just wondering. I was thinking, well, man, I could have that motor out in 5 minutes. But if you can't get it out of there.
Hey, look what Frank brought us.
You got all plugged
It's
in.
cool. Thanks, man. Hey, man. So what's the problem here?
And of course, you know, we put the correct throwout bearing in there, but it turns out that was never really it. This, when I put this on here and this slave, I use this hole right here, and you can see it's the one that was originally used. It's worn. These are never been used. Rick moved it to here and thought this was going to help it throw it more. But what it does is the other half of this on the other side of the pin here is hitting the bell housing. So we can't even get near. So I'm trying to get that pin out, and I'm gonna put it here, or either put it here. I might have to change the pitch of the slave to where it's, you know, the shaft's going in it straight. All right, now this needs to go here, and the throw is more.
Still hits.
I think if I take this off, see if I could take a little bit
Out.
of this out right there, and allow it to throw it a little bit more, and maybe I can take a little bit off of the where it's hitting. So, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna make a couple of improvements here. Well, we figured it out. This is gonna have to go. I do not know how this bracket, I just modified a little bit, and I bought a new slave, just a little slightly different than the one that was on this. Now you gotta, you know, this is all handmade, custom made, and I was following what somebody had before. So the only thing I changed is another slave, and this I never touched, never pulled this lever off or anything. But if you see, it hits. So, and what I noticed when Rick moved this pin up here, he thought that was going to give it more throw. Well, the back of the lever hits where the pin goes through, and the pin comes out on the other side. The part of the bracket that goes on there hits the bell housing. Well, if you take it off, then you'll get maybe not even a quarter inch more throw, and it hits here. And if you look on this tranny over here, you get tons of throw. I mean, you could pull that lever all the way out, and this one just deadheads. So what we're gonna do, and which it should have been that way anyways, what somebody welded on here, I'm gonna cut this off, and then I'm gonna eliminate this, and then I will put the like a dune buggy slave on it, and it's gonna pull. It's not gonna be a push style slave, it's gonna be a pull style slave. So that'll eliminate the whole thing. It'll just be one piece unit right here. I'll hook this line up to it, and we'll be done with this. So called the customer up, explained it to him, called up V-Dubs, and they have one in stock. Thank God. Thank you, V-Dubs, V-Dub Factory of Ocala, for helping us out and having what we need. So we'll have this thing shifting in no time. Tomorrow morning, we'll run up there and get that, and put it all back together for the second, third time, whatever. See what I was talking about? See, take that lever and we'll just throw it here for general purpose. That's the pin that it was in, and see, now it's hitting right there. See, and it originally was on this hole, but it doesn't give you much more throw, and it still hit. So we won't have that problem anymore. So hey, at least I don't need a new boot. All right, on the 75 custom trike, and I do mean custom, and some of that custom is going to be cut off, or has been. This was our problem. See this lever here? I trimmed a bunch of this off, so it went right like this, and then there was a big booger weld here. And if you look back, I don't know if you can see it, but see the line right there where this was hitting was right here. So it couldn't get a complete throw to disengage the clutch. So what we're gonna do is cut this off. I don't know how this thing shifted before. It is right here for like a shield when I was cutting. I don't know how it shifted before because I didn't change anything. This was how it went from original back in the day, and it was throwing this rod and pushing it, and then it bumped into the bell housing. So we are going to switch up to this, and this will be what will actuate the clutch pedal now, and we should have no problems, and it should disengage and look a lot more attractive, I'll say. All right, let me get on with this, and maybe having to bend my line or make a new line. It looks about like it's gonna fit, but then it might be a little too short because it looks further, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna end up making a new line, and I hope I have enough. So let me look into this. All right, guys, finally got it all on there. It's wasn't the same threads, so I had to find something that would fit in here and wouldn't leak. Took me a little while to get that, and I made a new line. And as you can see, it gets a much more of a throw. See, before it was going about there, and that's it. Now I get my other, and I still have another 3/4 of an inch of threads in here, so that will work. It's throwing that throwout bearing out far enough. See, before, if it was actuating properly, I probably would have heard the throwout bearing making some noise because it wasn't the correct one, which was my foobar. So now we can get this back on it, pop it in gear in neutral, see if I can crank it up and it's not going to move, and then we'll go ahead and put everything back on it. I'll be taking it back off so I can detail a lot of this, clean it all up and everything, touch up any blemishes in the paint and everything, because I do want this to look as sharp as hell. But I did notice some noise up in here. The owner is the one that assembled these forks with this wheel. It's not the original one he had on it, and I kind of question that he put all this hardware that was on the other one, which is not, you know, the actual hardware that should be on here. This is what was used on the other one, but like I said, this is a different rim, and I think the grinding is something to do with these washers on the hub, like right here, and you can see it's loose. I'm gonna have to get into this, but I just want to see if the clutch is gonna actuate or disengage properly, and then I'll get up here and attend to this, and we'll get back to another spin. I noticed some gear oil coming out of the driver's side axle seal. It's not on the outside, but these things suck putting these seals together. So I think it's on the inside, which is not as bad. Probably that O-ring on the axle or the seal itself. So I have to attend to that, but it's not my main concern right now. Drivability, and then I'll get back to that. I'll be readjusting the brakes too, which is a pain in the ass because you can't adjust them with the wheels on. So, alrighty, we'll get back to this and get this motor on here and see what we got.
Well, she shifted.
Definitely not safe to drive yet. There's got to be some fine tuning in here.
Hey, it's moving.
But it's moving and it shifts now. I took care of that. It's just, I don't feel good with it, anyways, because it's crazy. But I shouldn't get up here on the quarter in second gear. I was like, reminds me of when I was in Garmisch, Germany.
When it takes off, it wants to come off the ground.
It reminds me when I was in Zugspitze, Germany, skiing the Alps over there, and on that snowboard, and they said, go as fast as you can.
And there's no stopping.
My eyelids started peeling back, time to fall down. Yeah, it's scary. Because you can't tighten these down with these spacers you put in here. You can't tighten these down like you're supposed to because you want to leave some space because that one turns and this one stays steady because that's the drum. I'm going to drill a hole straight through the bolt. But these are all going to get painted later. That's my least concern right now. Drill a hole through it and put a pin through it. Or maybe a roll pin so you don't see a cotter pin. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. and then you just drive the roll pin out, take this off, because that'll ensure that those nuts aren't going to come off. That would be a big deal. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great. So that's why I got it jacked up like this. I just drove it around the block. Now I'm almost out of fuel in that little fuel tank in there to test drive it.
What is that, about a half a gallon?
Yeah, something like that. It's one of those ones that go in on a bicycle scooter where they put water on it. Yeah, just something to get me to where I can test drive it. Go ahead and get the measurements and make an aluminum tank for it. That'll get me to test drive it. Yeah, and I just tacked up in reverse. And you see that's your original tack in there. And I haven't even paid attention to it to see if it's working.
That's the original tag?
Yes.
Get the hell out of
That is. It's perfect. Leave it there.
No,
Why don't
leave it,
each?
please leave it there.
Why don't
you
each
ain't gonna
side?
find another one.
That's the original. Yeah, that's why
I give you 50 bucks
couldn't
if you find another one.
I couldn't find anything, so I just put the original one back in it. Why not? You got the original case, the body, the rims, the RPM gauge.
And I gotta say, we've never seen a trike body like this. There's no other trike body like this.
Looks sweet.
All right.
I like it. And both of the lights work here. I'm gonna go back and change where the lights are on this and put it on the contact for the headlights.
Huh?
You could shave in those. Trina's mother came out. She goes, "Oh, the pedals are just so beautiful."
Oh, it's scary. I don't know how you'll drive it.
You know that plastic?
I'm scared for him every time he's on it.
That peel paint that you can peel off, it's rubberized, and I'm gonna paint these washers a flat black rubbers where it has rubber in between it when it goes onto the body. Because I don't want it black paint, and then you just get that every time you take the pedals off, put it back on.
What's that button for, the horn? What's that button for?
That's for the horn. And this is just for us to get the wiring right for the turn signals. This is temporary, and this is to go to the power of your new turn signal switch. And these are just, they're not going to get put on until that's right, and this will be soldered. This is just to make sure everything's working. Yeah, you know, I don't like the feel of that at all. It just doesn't have a lot of oomph to it, pull itself back, but it works. But I don't want to take any chances on anything. I want it to be right. Yeah, it raised up about 6 inches off the ground on the front wheel when I went that way. I put it in the second and it raised up, and I was like, woo.
That's because we never use first gear. It's just
Too jumpy.
How you like that paint?
I like it.
It's sweet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to reposition these. Even Dalton caught that.
You know what though? That's about where they were. They were off a little bit,
Oh.
if I remember correctly.
Well, I can pull it off and grind it for them. I'll straighten it out. All that.
Because we like attention to detail.
Yeah, all that stuff. bugs the
That
hell out
stuff
of me.
bugs me.
Mm-hmm. And see, all those little bolts and nuts and everything will all get painted, but I'm trying to get past all the adjustments. Now we need to fine tune the motor, but I think what I was seeing when I turned the corner is that I was almost out of fuel in the tank and it was just picking up some air. And then when I straightened out, it went away. And I went to the corner and did it again. I just stuck my finger in there and I didn't touch fuel, so that's what it was. But it's sweet. Dalton, will you grab that jack back out from under there?
Yep.
I think I would step off on this side in case you, especially if it was still running and idling, in case you bumped us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool seeing it after so many years, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
It just needs to get tweaked and get everything to work functional. I've just picked up a boot. I forgot to mention that to you yesterday. I picked up a boot and I have that ring. I'm going to go over to Home Depot and find something to put that on there. And I think you should just sand this or just...
I'd say sand it, varnish it.
Put you an emblem in here. That's its standard size.
Looking good, man.
But I'd leave the wooden handle on it. That's your original one you touched back in the day. Yeah, and it stops. Yeah, that thing will knock the hell out of you.
The only thing I ever worried about was getting hit head on. If you get hit head on, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're toast.
Yeah, that's what everyone.
That's what everyone said about the handlebars.
Go right into your chest. But I mean, that's
the whole
that's
thrill-seeking.
living on the edge.
Yeah,
If you're gonna ride a motorcycle, okay, that's about right, though.
that's what it looked like in the original picture too.
pretty cool, ain't it?
All right, man, I gotta go. I got a damn appointment.
Okay, guys, we're back on the custom beautiful 75 VW trike. So, as you can see, I am installing the seat covers. Look at that. You know, this is really the first time I've ever installed snaps, especially to a nice brand new seat cover. I'm really happy with it. So, you've got the first one. I'm gonna go for the first one. I've got my center line here with the tack, and I went ahead and figured out where I want to put my snap. You see, I hit it with a punch right there. It's a little spring-loaded punch. So it's going to go right there. And then your butt will come all the way down. This will leave you a little bit of slack in there. But if you see I pull it back, it lines up right where my snap is. So I'm going to do my first snap. And then I might go to this one. But I'm going to go around and drill my snaps and screw them in. I want to get this to kind of overlap. You see how it's a little thinner from the stitch to here, and it's longer here. It is what it is. That's how they were made. They had the original ones, and I'm sure they made templates out of it, took all the stitch out, and of course there was nothing left of those to look at after that. And see, it's a little wider here, keeps going around, it's narrower here. So I'm gonna get this one centered. I'm gonna do my snaps first, but I kind of want to make this one overlap that, and that snap to just snap right before it. So that'll look nice. I'll go with the right amount of snaps around it. This is gonna look sharp. I like the little white stitch in there. Let's see if I push that down. I'm on my center, come back here, and then my snap's right there. Perfect. That is gonna look sharp. So let me get ready to drill my first hole and install a snap, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll get back to this. It's all gonna be based on this one being centered from the gauges back with the center line right there. Boy, this is gonna look sharp. What a beautiful body. I'm gonna have Ricky, the owner, come in later today, and I'm gonna show him how we take the body off of it. So he'll know how to do it safely and where all the plugs detach. So that's what we're gonna do today with the trike. Got a deadline to get this out of here at the end of January. Let's go. All right, we're gonna drill our first hole. Notice I put some masking tape here. I got my little dot right in the center. It's fiberglass, so I don't need any much force. Just gonna take my time. There we go. All right, and you want to peel your tape inward, and then go to the other side and pull it inward to the hole, and then just kind of rock it back and forth. And you're doing that because you've just cut the paint. If you pulled straight across, I've seen it where people have grabbed the other edge of the hole and ripped the paint off. So that's just a word of caution there. Hopefully, I want it to be tight, so I don't want to make a big of a hole. I'm also considering going under and putting some sealer on the other side of the screw. All right, I got that one in, snap down. None of the rest are on, and I set down in it, you know, and made sure it was exactly where I want it. It's not going to be pulling on it, and also it's the vinyl's cold, so when it gets out in the sun, warms up, it's going to stretch out. So good time to do it now, actually. And I've got my center snap back here, so I'm going to work my way around, probably crisscross or tuck this back here and just set them here. I want to leave enough slack where it's going to give, but it's not going to be loose later. Looking good, and then I'll start on the back one, installing the snaps through the cover, and then the other half of the snap to the body. Fun, fun, fun. Take your time. You can easily screw this up. Look at there. That's sweet. Looks good. I mean, it's got a few wrinkles in it. I guess I could, but I mean, it's gonna have a wrinkle there. I don't want too many snaps. It's gonna, I think it'll look nice. We'll see what the owner thinks. Could have used a little more padding, but sweet. What do you think? Leave a comment. I'm gonna get on to putting the snaps on the other one and tuck it like this right under there. Get my center right with the other one. See, that's gonna sit down after somebody uses this, and it contours to the body. So, let's see where that's gonna put me. I kinda like my snap. But see, your waist is gonna be there, so it'd be nice to have it go underneath it, so somebody leans up against it. You know, it's got some padding there. Well, let's see, we don't want to go too far down. I mean, I'd rather snap go over, but he might want to put something up there, so we could probably put one snap there, one snap there, one snap there. Tuck it up a little bit more in there, and then come down. That is where your ass is going to end, so, and then that would put the snap right there. I like that. I'm going to get a measurement across here and get my line, my center sharp. Oh yeah, it's going to be a badass trike. Leave a like, comment. Y'all gotta subscribe so we can keep bringing this great content. So subscribe, hit the notification button. Let's get on with the trike. So I'm done. Got all my snaps on. They're on, and they'll just have to work their way to fitting the seat. You know, when people sit in it, and they'll fit the seat to the contour of it. Should I say? But looks great.
What's today?
It's my birthday, and it's steak day, the only way. Yes, steak and salad, and a nice cocktail. Yes.
Yeah, Fiesta lime chicken. What'd you get? Steak too?
Same, yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday to G-Man.
Thank you. 54, and I want some more.
Hey, man. So how was your birthday?
Well, it was pretty damn good. I got a new boom box, you know, that holds a battery charge. My other one is just plugged in the shop permanently, because as soon as you take it away, it goes you know, and I got a nice new shirt, and I got some shoes.
Some new kicks.
That my gorilla feet will come out of, like, within 2 or 3 months. Yeah, my wife will be bitch. What happened? I'm working them. They're called work shoes. No. But no, I had a great birthday. Yes.
Yeah.
54. I want some more.
Yeah. Next year we can play the song I Can't Drive 55. Man,
Yeah, man.
what we got here?
This is a 75 trike, and it's dusty from me drilling the holes to put the snaps in it. They have to contour and sit down, you know. They're gonna, you know, shape themselves to the body when people are sitting in them. They're brand new. So look at it. It's just like a diamond. Yeah. And it's dirty, but it's almost out of here. We're building a fuel tank for it, because he has we have like a bicycle tank on it for a motorized bicycle, just for me to drive it around a little bit.
It's just dust by now.
Yeah, see, I drilled all these holes to put these snaps in. So you can unsnap the seat covers. Yeah, sweet, just coming along. Awesome.
So I gave you the tag.
That's cool. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
I put that on top of the shop. You'll see it from here. Right over the Coca-Cola. I was going to start putting some signs on there. No better one than Volkswagen to be the initial one.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Wow, that's like big, thick and flexible.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh,
That is real heavy duty right there.
cool. That's from
That is
back in the
cool.
day, huh?
Yeah. So that came out of somebody's collection. I don't know whose.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's how that stuff turns up. So.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
You see where the trike's almost going?
Yeah, that's
I got to
awesome.
finish that in the next 2 weeks.
He's finally getting antsy for it, is he?
Oh yeah, it's just been a
I
pain.
know it's been here a long
And then
time.
that metal flake, that's the first time I've ever done that.
Really? He's excited now.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's really cool.
that trike is nice.
No, that is nice.
And it's got the 70s Maverick and Pinto tail lights,
Sequential.
like the new Mustangs.
Yeah. They blink.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it turned out nice. I drove it too.
I saw the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep watching you guys' YouTube. They actually keep feeding me. So.
Yeah. It's doing well. We're gonna be finishing up on the one we just went to the car show in Sanford yesterday and ran into Jawbreaker and everyone, and we had a good time. It was a really nice showing. A lot of people. A lot of beautiful cars. There must have been, what, 90 cars there?
There was a lot.
100?
We were
Big
surprised.
Orlando show at the Camping World Stadium.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in.
That'd be
When is that?
cool.
March?
Yeah, when is that?
It's March.
March?
March. I think it's
I'm
March.
I'm bringing the Dune Buggy.
We want to go to at least one a month to promote the channel. We don't need more business.
No.
We just want more subscribers.
We just want to build it up. Yeah.
People ask, hey, you want to put your cards at my business? No. I mean, they want to join the YouTube channel, but I got enough business.
Yeah.
That Sanford, the dune buggy that was on our last video, the real survivor.
The green one?
And it was built
Yeah.
in Sanford in the 70s. Yeah, that one. He weighed waited 3 months to get in here, and he's still waiting while he's here.
Wow.
Because he just moved down here from New York, and he said, well, I'm here. I'm like, well, I'm not ready for you, but I could take it. So it's here when I can fit you in. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Hey guys, I'm back on the trike. The owner brought some much needed parts over here, and get rid of my sissy motorcycle tank here, or motor bicycle tank. And this was the tank that was on it back in the 70s. And I did learn from Ricky, the owner today, he's the original owner, that this has not ran or been driven since 1981. So said it was around the time of Reagan. So we got the tank here. It does barely clear this shock, but when it travels up and down, there's no weight, just a person sitting on here, maybe two. The gap here widens, so it's not gonna get any closer than it is, and that's the way it was before. Shocks might have been a little smaller or narrower, whatever, but now I'm gonna drill a hole right about here and put this in here and weld it in, and this will be for a vent tube. So I'm gonna use this fuel line hose, heavy duty hose here, and I'm positive we don't have a heavy duty clamp, so a regular clamp's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to heat this up and hopefully get it onto there, and then in return get it onto here. And this is like a NASCAR cap. I'm not sure if that diameter is the same. Let's see what I can do from here. Yeah, that one fits on there. Need some heavy duty clamps, that's for sure, 'cause this is a hell of a hose here. Okay, now like I said, drill a hole, weld that in there, and then of course this is going to go from here up to about here somewhere. Let's see how far that engine sits back in there. And this is closer to the rear, which puts me hopefully right about here. And then I'm going to take this, and this is going to go into that, and then it's going to come up before it for this, and that will put me with this vent right in like here, higher than here. And he's still going to have two tanks made, an aluminum rectangular one over there and one here, and then they're going to wrench across the bottoms with a hose and a T to go to the carburetor. So this one's going to be a temporary tank until he makes what he wants in there permanently. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to drill that hole out, get that in there, weld it in, then I will go over there, drill out my hole, put this through there, screw that onto that, and that onto that once I get the right clamps. Alrighty, so let's get started. Alright guys, I'm back in the welding room, and yeah, I still haven't got concrete in there. Give me a break, I'll get it. Well, I've got my hole drilled in here, and I screwed this pipe in there, cleaned it up and everything, of course, and now I'm gonna go get my helmet, and I forgot it, and I'm gonna weld this up to this and see what we got. Hopefully it's a 100% deal. Well guys, here we go. Got my vent tube welded on there. Not bad. I'm not a professional welder, nor have I ever said I was, but not gonna leak. I put more than enough on there, built it up, went around it twice. It's a temporary tank, so I think it'll be fine. Alright, now all I gotta do is wait for it to cool down, sand it up some more, paint it, set it up the way I want it, and install it in there. Can't wait. It'll be able to run on its own tank, and you can fill it up from under the fender. We gotta get it to where this thing doesn't have to come off. You know, worst case scenario when you gotta do something to it or something, you know, but pain in the ass. There's a lot of stuff to detach to get this body off. Hey guys, I'm back on the 75 custom trike. The owner brought me this tank over, and this was what's on here originally, and they had one over there too. He's gonna make some aluminum rectangular cubicle tanks to go on here, but this is gonna be what we're gonna use temporarily so he can drive it till he gets his other tanks made. Now I had a clearance issue with the shock here. There is all right now because I disconnected this from where it was, and it wasn't really welded on there nicely, but I'm going to tack that right there to clean it up and prep it for welding, and then I'm gonna take it back off and take it out back and weld it in the shop so I can get a good bond on it. Yeah, so it'll clear now because now you can just everywhere after this is going to go traveling more and more away from it, so, and it won't hit it coming up. But yeah, this is just temporary. I'm gonna grind the inside of this off so this will lay flatter because there's a bunch of booger weld on the back of it, so I'll dress this one up too, so that should do it. All right, let me get on to tacking it. Hey guys, well, I've got it as close as I can get. It's just far enough away from the edge of the wishbone chassis, and then I've got that much clearance. You see that? I've got that much clearance from the shock. Of course, pick it up, it's gonna get closer, but you know, the body's gonna be on it, and then the weight of the person's gonna be on it, but this is what he had on there before. And see, this barely clears this plug right here, if you can see that. Had to shave off some on the corner, so there's really nowhere else to go. So that's as good as it gets right here. It is what he gave me, and like I said, he's going to make custom ones that'll fit better. So he'll be able to take care of that. It's just to get him to be able to drive around a little bit and make his improvements as he goes, like the turn signals and stuff like that. And it'll be set up for him to make improvements to it later too. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna take this back out, paint it back where it was there, get it back to looking nice, and then set it in here and start running the fuel line to it. And a few other things. I'm gonna shave the bolt down on these, make them a little easier to install. I'm gonna mount these permanently, and it's gonna be detached from here. So, and I've got to cut these down to size to fit on the body, and this one right here. So these are gonna have to be detached when the body's removed. This will be the vent hose, and this will be the fuel fill. So what I got right now, we're gonna clean this baby up before I set it down and touch up some things that got scratched, but she's looking good. We got the tank in here, hooked up, filled up, my vent hose, my fill hose. I'm gonna cut those to fit when we get the body on. Hopefully, this is the last time we put the body on. So, let's go.
Hey guys, it's Dalton. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be one Last Trike video. The Last Trike video will show the driving experience of the trike. Will show us talking about it from beginning to end of the whole process of the restoration of it and bringing it back to life. And we'll also show the reaction of the original owner when we hand it off to him. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I know it was a long one, but drop a like, comment, subscribe, and have a just buggin' of a day.